Five. All right. Let's get no mic today, unfortunately. I mean, maybe we could try it out, but it might die. It might die. I didn't get to charge it. So we'll try it out. Try out the mic. If we can find it. Where did it go? Uh-oh. All right, no mic today. All right. Let me get the blue castle up. Guys, thanks for hitting the like on the way in. Thanks to any new subscribers helping us get to 6K subscribers. I am always grateful. Living a life of gratitude over here. Good times and good vibes. As always, much love to everybody who's supporting the channel and helping us grow. The algorithm recognizes action. So you guys hitting the likes, being a subscriber, or hitting the bell and all that good stuff, that every freaking YouTuber says, that really does help us out a lot tremendously, man. Every little action counts towards helping us out. And in the description below, if you guys want to mine Satoshis with us through the Ember app, thanks to those who have been signing up, man. I hope you guys are getting some awesome passive Satoshis just for, watching one ad a day. I mean, dude, there's a way you can even skip that ad, honestly, on the Ember app. You hit start earning Bitcoin on the button on the Ember app. It'll load up the ad, and then I just hit my home screen. The moment that the ad starts to play, swipe up, hit the Ember app again, hit the start mining, and then right away just goes into, earning passive Satoshis. I don't even have to watch the ad. I don't even have to waste time on the ad. I can just swipe up, close that freaking window the moment the ad starts playing, and then freaking start earning Bitcoin yet again. So, and in the description below as well, we got our Coinbase ID. If you guys want to donate any crypto to us, I am always grateful for that. And, we got our Swash referral code there for earning, for navigating the web. Anyways, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader, and I'll never tell you what to do. I am always wrong, but the Blue Foundation is always right. This is the worst show with the best community, and I'm so grateful to El Prey jumping on in. Hopefully everybody had an awesome Halloween, and we're into the weekend right now. Some people expecting a major dump coming on Monday. We'll just have to wait and see. Man. When people expect something, usually the opposite happens, so maybe we get some bullishness to start off November. But at the same time, we're freaking ninjas. We're just chipping away little by little. I bought some more of the Decentralized Recovery Alliance cryptos today. Chipped away at each single one of them with just a little bit of money, man. Just a little bit at a time. I'm getting whole numbers of XRP, getting whole numbers of HBAR, getting whole numbers of ADA, getting whole numbers of Algorand, right? Getting whole numbers of DAG, getting whole numbers of Casper, getting whole numbers of BSL, getting whole numbers of Hashpack, getting whole numbers of Elron Gold or EGLD, right? Multiverse X. And then, we scooped up yesterday a little bit more of XPX, man, because you know what? It's just too easy to get 1,000 of these. It's just too easy to get 1,000 XPX for an end-to-end proven CBDC infrastructure crypto. Can't wait. And then I talked about 3 cryptos in that XPX ecosystem with the history of XPX coming from the NEM blockchain, XEM. If you guys don't remember NEM, XEM was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, getting crypto next to Stellar and Ripple, right in that 2017 to 2018 bull cycle. NEM has transformed into XYM. So I don't know if NEM XEM is relevant anymore. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I like XYM and XPX. I love XPX the most out of those two. If I had to pick between XYM and XPX, I am picking XPX because XPX was the technology that provided that end-to-end CBDC infrastructure, that one Dragonfly fintech, the G20 tech sprint, or what's it called? Yeah, that G20 CBDC tech sprint in 2022, which is still to date the only CBDC tech sprint that has happened that involved cryptos that had, a dedicated token with them. You had Ripple as a finalist, you had Stellar as a finalist, you had R3 as a finalist, and you had Dragonfly FinTech with Proxima X Serious Chain XPX as their token. And that one ended up on top. I love all those cryptos regardless. I still like R3, still love Stellar, still love Ripple or, XRPL. So very bullish on those four in particular because they were, major contenders of being able to provide, and there's still tests and CBDC tests on those platforms, right? So we're keeping an eye out for that. I know a lot of people are like, dude, why do you even talk about CBDCs? We got stable coins now. State central banks will begin issuing their own digital currency. It is going to happen. It's just a matter of freaking time. And people are saying it's never going to happen, man. We need a clear regulatory framework. To this day, we have been streaming for 9 years, waiting on freaking regulatory clarity, and it is still taken this damn long to get a whole global regulatory framework for digital assets, to have a global economy, to have micropayments all over the freaking globe, all over the freaking internet, right? We are still a ways away, but for how long, who knows? So I'm not waiting, but I'm being freaking patient at the same time. Right? Being a ninja, just accumulating whole numbers of these while we still can. Inactivity, by the way, some people were saying, but dude, look at the GitHub commits for XPX and stuff. It's not really that many. Like, what makes you so damn bullish? There's private repos on, there's private GitHubs for enterprises that don't want people to know the activity on some of these freaking projects. Right? There's development behind the scenes. This is what NDAs do. This is what non-disclosure agreements do, because it's for a matter of security, right? As well, it's for a matter of security, or their security, if you will, right? Because they definitely don't want the Blue Foundation knowing about this freaking crypto. That is without a doubt, right? Silence is sometimes golden, right? These are projects that are not trying to get us, the retail investor, into their digital assets. They want the big money. They want the enterprises. They want the banks running their distributed ledger technology and utilizing it, right? Shout out to everybody here. XDC. Got to give love to XDC. I said R3, right? Dude, I wonder what the Solana haters now think in terms of what's going on with R3 building some things on Solana. I'm very interested to know where the Solana haters are going to come from. Once again, Greg Kidd, the puppet master in this whole space. Oh, sorry, excuse me, guys. The puppet master. I got to stop eating before I do these streams, because then I just end up freaking like getting gassy here. But we need to, what's it called? The former chief risk officer, Ripple, angel investor in Twitter, angel investor in Coinbase, angel investor in basically everything in the Web3 space. Freaking Greg Kidd is one of the puppet masters, and he was an early investor in Solana, still believes in Solana, and now you got R3 you got Western Union and R3. Dude, where are the Solana haters? I know people are saying this is a distraction. Guys, once again, it is not one to rule them all. This is a multi-ledger future where these blockchains are going to be able to talk to each other. And if your blockchain is able to provide microtransactions, right, do micropayments, very, very low fees, it has a pretty damn good chance of moving into this freaking future, right? All right, let's keep going. Shout out to everybody here. Sir, what's your total crypto market cap projection for this bull cycle? Once again, not financial advice, but I do think we hit $10 trillion at least in this next bull cycle. I think we hit that next level. Maybe we get close to it. Maybe we get close, like 8 trillion, 9 trillion, and then it just peaks right there. But it's going to be somewhere across the 10 trillion market cap. We are going to be bringing more people into the blockchain space than ever before. And how is that going to happen? It's going to be through crypto gaming, most likely, meme coins again. You'll probably have some enterprises making their positions into the, those blue chip ones, right? But in terms of masses who start getting involved in the word of mouth, it's going to probably be like something like Decentraland or Mana, some of these like metaverse cryptos that get people's interest to think about utilizing crypto or digital assets. You'll probably have video game companies as well starting to implement little micropayments or payments in digital assets, right? So keeping an eye out for that, for what this next phase is going to look like. But definitely those blue chips will have a good amount of money into their thing too. Johnny Craig into the house. So I'm thinking around either above or a little bit below $10 trillion in this next bull cycle. And that's going to be fantastic, dude. Somebody was telling me that my XDC to $12 prediction was freaking outlandish, that it would make it a $240 billion market cap for XDC. And I was like, what's wrong with that? If BTC, with literally blind faith and no utility, I mean, there is some utility, don't get me wrong. It's not the best of utility, but BTC is at $1 trillion in market cap. XDC is dealing with the whole trade finance world, right? Has been building the rails for a freaking long time. It's ISO 20022 compliant. XDC definitely has the potential to hit a 240 billion market cap. That sounds about right to me, especially if we're hitting a $10 trillion total market cap in the overall space. I don't see why XDC can't hit double digits, at least $10, right? I mean, look at where XDC came from in the triple zeros, right? In the sub pennies, all the way up to like mega penny, you know, or not mega pennies, but to pennies, right? How come it can't go from pennies to multiple dollars? But gee, the supply, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. 240 billion market cap. Are you kidding me? Dude, once again, this next bull cycle is going to cause so much euphoria that people will literally think that the market is too big to fail, that crypto is too big to fail. And then that's when the cyber event happens and tests the whole market, tests everything, man, tests everything. The cyber event is going to be the flip of the switch, the reset, the official reset. The traditional rails we're still running on to this day. We're still running on traditional rails. Sure, we may have a coexistence period with ISO 20022, but the current rails, these traditional rails, need to be, you know, they need to be thrown away, right? And what's going to happen? There's going to be an attack on the traditional rails that's going to cause that full migration over to ISO 20022 messaging, full-on streaming digital payments, and backed and on-chain and blockchain. That blockchain has shown proven security against these type of cyber events, right? And people are going to at first be a little weary, but then they'll see how tested and true it is, and then it'll come back around, man. Just like how 2020 was. We were afraid to touch each other for so long, for about almost a year and a half. And then now it's like we value freaking intimacy and person-to-person experience even more so. Even more so, right? That's what's going to happen with digital, this cyber event, man. It will make people a little bit afraid of digital and technology and all that type of stuff. Maybe start thinking a little bit about putting their feet in grass more often. And then a year or two goes by, freaking metaverse is popping off, right? Micropayments start popping off. Oh crap. Okay, we're back in it more than ever. More than ever. So I hope that answers your question. And long story short there, Freedom. Johnny Craig, hey, hope you're well, brother. Picked up some XPX and XX network yesterday. Cheers. Hopefully we're just chipping away. You know, hopefully we're not putting it. Remember, XX network hasn't started to run, so that's probably a good one. But XPX has started to run a little bit. So hopefully we're just chipping away little by little in case it does go back to the 0003s, 0004 ranges, right? And then XX network, we love XX network as the, top tier quantum resistant crypto right there at a penny. Less than a billion supply. Love chipping away and getting whole numbers of these cryptos. Do you think it's lazy for crypto YouTubers to just read X comments in their videos? Occasionally saying the word bullish after certain tweets for it. I think, that's why we're not about the talking heads type of stuff too much, Base Patsy. That's why we're not about the talking heads. Oh, she said this, he said that. We've been making little predictions, but once again, it's not financial advice, and we're just trying to, we're trying to freaking make a living off of this stuff, man. I don't really like working my other jobs and then then doing this as well, and I put a lot of effort and time into this. I really do, and on our X and our YouTube, right? So I really would love for this to be my main thing. So, we're trying to get some traction, and if people like price prediction stuff, I don't mind freaking trying to give my most real, my perspective of what I think the prices could be. But once again, I'm always wrong, and I'm, not a financial advisor, but I hear you. I think it is kind of lazy just reading tweets and, this person said that, this person said this, but, at the end of the day, they can do whatever they want. It's more so the viewers who support these people that are, reading X comments, and then they're somehow making a living just reading X comments on their crypto YouTube, man. Like, that's I think the viewers are the lazy ones right there. I think that's the heart of the problem, right? Those crypto YouTubers wouldn't be anything if they didn't have the viewers that wanted to see them reading X comments, right? Oh yeah, dude. Yes, Midnight looks very interesting. The Midnight token RPM looks very interesting. I have not done the scavenger hunt. I think I'm just going to probably be jumping into Midnight when it gets like officially released out into the market, man. I don't know if I'll do those extra hoops to get in on some Night, but Night definitely has some very, very strong backing behind it. Definitely want to keep an eye out for Night, NIGHT, Midnight, I think is what it's called. Keeping an eye out for that one as well, as they say in the UK. That's hilarious. Base Patsy. Whatever they freaking say. That's crazy, dude. You got me on that one. That's freaking nuts, dude. What's even going down over there in the UK, RPM? Tell us, man. Josh O'Hare, where you at, man? XDC King of Kings, I'm not worried. Dude, RPM, I'm not worried either, man. I bought some more XDC on Uphold the other day. Definitely just enjoying stacking up them bags, man. Holding long term, without a doubt. We need to get into that trade finance micropayments, that's for sure. Ski Mask Citizen in the house. What's up, dude? Appreciate you jumping on in. XD, by the way, guys, no stream today at 3:30 p.m. PST. It's only Monday through Friday that I can consistently do around 3:30 p.m. PST, but I try to give you guys the heads up, at least a notification of when we do plan to stream on that specific day. We're trying to get a stream a day officially, because we're in the deep reds, man, and this is when this channel is needed the most, is when cryptos are just sideways or bearish right now. When the bull cycle comes along, maybe you see me, maybe you don't, who knows, but right now, this is when the channel needs deep reds the most, without a doubt. XDC, third supply of XRP with tiny market cap. XDC will 10x XRP to utility coin. There we go. RPM's bullish. Do you think the new OpenAI commercial having a frog saying ribbit, ribbit is a... Dude, that is freaking crazy, Base Patsy. That is nuts. That is freaking nuts. And I love that tech is trying to act like they're helping you be in nature more. Like, if you've seen these ChatGPT commercials, it's like people outside working out, and then like the ChatGPT scrolling saying, hey, I want to get strong, give me a step-by-step of how to do it, and it does it, like, and the whole scroll goes up while this guy's doing his freaking thing. I love how they're trying to be like, see, technology helps you go outdoors more, but it's going to keep you indoors. It's going to keep you on screens more, man. That's it's just the funny thing, what's it called? The contradiction is just hilarious. The irony is just too sweet, right? But yeah, gotta love, and you know how they love to talk backwards, right? So they're saying TIBBIR in that freaking commercial, Base Patsy. TIBBIR under 40 cents anytime is a smash. TIBBIR under 40 cents anytime is a smash. TIBBIR is the leader of the AI agents, right? TIBBIR is going to be the leader of these AI agents and micropayments, and payments going through X402. TIBBIR will probably be the leader of that. There's going to be other ones, right, that people will speculate in. Speculation will run towards a bunch of AI agents, but TIBBIR is the leader. Then you're going to have your sovereign operator and digital twin operator, Amico, AMIKO. 1 billion supply at 3 cents right now. This crypto, massive connections with Crossmint, massive connections with X402. AI agents need a sovereign operator and need digital twins, right? So Amico is a needed thing in this X402 equation, and that's why we're bullish on Amico, dude. It is so easy to become a whale of Amico right now. Getting 100 or even 1,000, and if you're getting more, congratulations to you. But I think 100 is pretty solid, and just never thinking about Amico again and seeing if it really does start providing, digital twins to all these AI agents in the, X402 stack and all that type of stuff. Amico is definitely building up some really good ones. So TIBBIR as the leader of the AI agents, Amico as the sovereign operator, and then Big Data Protocol, BDP, as the private investment data for AI agents. BDP is at 80 million supply. It is possibly the easiest to be a whale in BDP right now. 80 million supply at 2 cents. $5, never think about BDP again. Wait for this AI agent future. Come back and check up on it, right? The price shock for BDP is going to be freaking fantastic, dude. I am so stoked. for where BDP is going to be going. And once again, it's limited risk, right? I'm just chipping away. I'm just only getting, whole numbers of an 80 million supply, and then I'll just wait. I have the patience. Man. Some other cryptos will probably do some, good stuff for me in the short term, right? That's the beauty of being diversified. If XRP hits $74 when its market cap would be in trillions, which year do you think this would happen? It could be around, let me see. If XRP, once again, I do believe there's multiple BTCs in this future. I think it happens within the next 5 years that for sure we have at least a double-digit XRP around 50 to 70 bucks. There's going to be, dude, Bitcoin is the first one to break into that $1 trillion market cap. Ethereum's going to be another one, most likely, maybe pre-cyber event. Right now, if we get into this bull cycle and it's going up to the 10 trillion market cap, there's going to be probably 3 or 4 that have $1 trillion in their market cap. And I wouldn't be surprised if XRP is one of those. I wouldn't be surprised if XRP is one of those, right? There's going to be multiple cryptos with multiple $1 trillion market caps. There's going to be multiple BTCs, right? There's going to be multiple big number, XRP hitting thousands, maybe not in this bull cycle, but damn, dude, this next bull cycle, once again, it's going to be too good to be true. People are going to think it's too big to fail, like they always do with every freaking bull cycle, right? I'd be sizing in at the lows if you truly have conviction in the project. Yeah. Love, TIBBIR. Love, TIBBIR. Agreed. Head injured viewers. There we go. Everybody loving that little viewpoint right there. What do you think of Kite AI? Thank you for shouting out a new crypto that I don't know about, man. That's why we got freaking tigers here, man. You guys always keep me up to date. Always keep me up to date with some of the newest trends, dude. That's always great. I'll check out Kite AI. Is it X402? If your AI ain't X402 or working towards X402, great, good luck. Good luck to your AI, right? Let me write that one down, though. Okay, Kite AI. Josh is at the pub. Did you guys get that XRP rewards coin from Uphold? I did not. I'm interested to see what that is. I don't really use Uphold too much. I only use it to get some cryptos that I can't get anywhere else. Not the biggest fan of Uphold, honestly. I think they make you jump through too many hoops. I just like decentralized exchanges and decentralized wallets. But yeah, in terms of an off-ramp, yeah, I guess Uphold is a decent off-ramp. Coinbase as well, right? For selling and cashing out, I get it. But I did not get that rewards crypto. That's interesting. XRP to $10 before 2030 or in 2030. I think we'll see. Or 10K. Do we mean $10 or 10K? Smart money on Nansen AI increases positions 200K as well. Nansen AI, okay. What's with the XRP 100K glitches? It's just the private ledger breaking through into the public a little bit at a time. They're just showing you what the price is going to be in 2032. What's your thoughts on Filecoin, Forward F and Ranger? We talked about Dude, we have a little short on Filecoin that we just released. Filecoin, decentralized storage is absolutely important in the whole crypto space. And a lot of these cryptos, unlike XPX, that's why XPX is a freaking powerhouse, y'all. It's a full stack experience. You get freaking data, you get your storage layer, you get your freaking compute layer, you get full experience with XPX. Gotta love it. But a lot of these cryptos are going to have to be collaborating with some of these decentralized storage providers, like the OG of OGs, Filecoin. Dude, Filecoin may be the cheapest that we'll ever be able to accumulate it at. It's at a freaking $1. 2 billion supply, right? This used to be in the $100s range at an all-time high. We don't even need to go back to that all-time high to make some filthy gains off Filecoin. Akash under $1 right now. Akash, decentralized provider, partnered with Equinix, a major data center provider, right? So AKT definitely, and Decentralized Recovery Alliance follows both of them. Filecoin has angel investors that are, once again, the puppet master Greg Kidd and freaking Brad Garlinghouse, dude. Brad Garlinghouse, we know he loves XRP, but it seems like he's an angel investor in Filecoin. Seems like he understands what's about to come, that decentralized storage is freaking paramount. Super important. So the decentralized storage plays are, and somebody's going to probably correct me on one of them here, but decentralized storage plays being Filecoin, AKT, StoreX, Siocoin, and I know I'm forgetting one more. I know I'm forgetting one more in the Blue Foundation here. Well, you know, we got a room full of blue wrenches that keep me in line here. I'm sure you guys are going to let me know. A lot of the coins in the Alpha Base Index are very, very promising. Okay, Alpha Base Index. I'll take a look into that. If this takes me a couple of streams to get over, guys, just, you know, I hope you, you know, sometimes, like, I definitely just want to give each one of these their due. The time to look into these. So it, you know, if I don't look into these by next stream, you know, don't be mad at me, but I will. I write them down, man. I write them down, and I will research. You know, what you're shouting out. So TIBBIR has more potential than Pay AI. I mean, I think so. Pay AI has already made very, very filthy gains. You're chasing a pump at this point for Pay AI. Once Pay AI goes into deep reds, though, we'll be here to talk about Pay AI. But, I mean, if you look at Rebita Capital, and if you look at Rebita in general, and who's backing Rebita, right? You got Brian Armstrong and Anatoly, and you got major players, major names in this ecosystem that are, you know, secretly behind what's going on with TIBBIR. So TIBBIR definitely looking like, you know, the leader of the AI agents, in my opinion. Right? Virtual's definitely looking like it has a major first mover advantage with this X402 hype. Pay AI has done amazing gains, though. Want to give a shout out for Crypto Canvas for letting his viewers know when Pay AI was a freaking bottom, and they made filthy gains. Those people, the people who got into Pay AI. I mean, I wish we would have known about it when it was in the deep reds, but you know, Pay AI definitely doing some filthy things right now. Not chasing the pump, though. If I have to have a position just because I'm FOMOing out the freaking mouth here, I throw $5 in, never think about it, come back around, hoping retracements are going to happen, man. Because retracements do freaking happen in this space, whether it's on the hourly, the 24, the 7-day, the 30-day. Retracements do happen. People just always think, oh, it's nowhere but up from here, man. It's just too big to fail, right? They always think that, dude. BitTrue is awesome, but it doesn't allow US users to use it. So I'm freaking screwed out of that, right? I understand VPN, you can use a VPN maybe to log in, but for some reason, even when I do so, it still recognizes me as a US user and doesn't let me anymore participate. Hopefully they open up back to US users. That would be amazing, man. XRP rewards card, 4% on your, oh yeah, so you're talking about the rewards card, not rewards coin. That threw me for a loop right there. Yeah, we know about the Uphold rewards card. I definitely, I used to own the OG Uphold rewards card, you know, and was using it to get purchases. Like, I'm happy that they brought it back around, man. They did that before in the past, right? And then they stopped it. Happy that they brought it back around. Looks like regulatory clarity may be around the corner. We'll see. Yeah, a year ago we were at 50 cents. We're doing okay. Up 400% on the year. Much higher than BNB, Ethereum, and BTC. How much XRP are you getting paid to tell people nonsense? XRP $10 in 2/3. Dude, Amir, I only get about maybe 30 viewers per stream, dude. We are shadow banned. We are a shadow banned channel. I don't get paid by anybody, man. I've had people approach me, hey, can you shill our coin and we'll compensate you? Hey, can you bring on this person and talk to him about the such and such project? I have denied all offers, right? This is a completely, once again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader, and I'm always wrong. So you're already right with like calling me out on being wrong, my dude. But excuse me for being freaking bullish and seeing the potential here. Remember, XRP outgained BTC despite dealing with the SEC. It outgained BTC. Why can't we not? Dude, XRP should have already been $10 in that last bull cycle, right? If it didn't have the SEC overhead, right? Jim Fallon, what's your sleeper? XPX and XX network, man. Either one of those two. XPX is the only digital asset to date that has been publicly acknowledged as an end-to-end CBDC infrastructure provider, right? By the BIS, by the G20, by the Monetary Authority of Singapore. XAH is a great sleeper. If you're going for the XRPL sleepers, XAH is a great one. Evernote is even better. Look at that supply. Look at that price. It makes no freaking sense for the compute layer for the XRPL, right? We've already talked about how XRP, XAH, and EVR are going to be working together to provide a complete financial stack, right? XRP for settlement and payments, which it does very well. ZA and its hooks, right? And Evernote with its compute, right? Sologenic and Corium are bubbling up. Enjoy them while they're still under $1, you guys. I like those as well. Pulsara is within that Sologenic Corium ecosystem. It's a lower cap than both of those, and people sleep on that project all the time because it came out during a bear cycle. Michael Anthony, markets look bad, but I think sorry, give me a sec. Let me get a sip of water. Oh, snap. Who's this? Bishop Thomas dropping the $20 bomb, man. Shout out to you, Bishop Thomas, our Hulk green giant, having a good time. Enjoy, dude. Guys, can we give a shout out to Bishop Thomas, the OG of OG, one of the OGs of the green giant space? We know Legendary is like the first and foremost, but dude, Bishop Thomas has contributed more to this channel than any other green giant honestly has. You know, he really has. So we always have to give love when Bishop Thomas decides to make an appearance, man. All right, let me keep checking out the chat here. Let me see. Where did I lose the chat? I was at Anthony. Michael Anthony, markets look bad, that I think since the government shutdown is hurting too many people across the USA, that people wasn't even thinking about people get snapped, won't buying food. That's all I'm hearing in the news. If you can rephrase all of that, I kind of got lost in the sauce there. If you can rephrase that into a, I'm not the brightest guy, man. If you can just make it a simpler, sentence, I'd appreciate it. I'd be super concerned that the agents are going to render many of these old projects redundant. It's super difficult to regain their luster. Yes, I definitely think AI agents are going to be taking a bunch of the market, right? I think they're going to probably make a lot of these projects redundant. I agree with you, Base Patsy, but there's some that have been focused on payments since the beginning, and AI agents still at the end of the day need to make payments. They still need to abide by standards, right? And the X402 standard is going to be very important. AI, they're going to put it into the algorithm that you have to also transact through ISO 20022, right? ISO 20022 is a $100+ trillion opportunity. AI agents right now is about a $10+ trillion opportunity. And that's not, dude, I'm not trying to even spread FUD. That is so damn bullish at the end of the day that there's room for them to win. That's why we've been focused on the digital assets that are extremely focused on payments and micropayments, because we understand the future is machine to machine. The future is little packets of data going over the interledger protocol, little packets of value. Right? Even AI agents are going to be on top of the sublayer that is the ILP, right? Pay AI, what's that? Crypto Canvas definitely knows a lot more about it than I do, man. Base Passy, if you want to check it out, it has made the most gains out of a lot of AI cryptos because of how low cap of a crypto it is. But it's AI to AI payments right there. It's literally what the name says. Let's go, Blue Jays. Oh man, a lot of Dodgers fans here would be pissed, dude. A lot of Dodgers fans would be pissed. If you actually look, if Blue Jays win, this is actually an interesting segue. If the Blue Jays win, check out what Blue Jay or Blue Jays is in Gematria. Sirius is one of those things. Believe it or not, Sirius, Sirius. Sirius chain, man. The Sirius chain. Gotta love it, dude. Gotta love what's going down, man. So Blue Jays, keeping an eye out for that, man. So if the Blue Jays win, it makes me super excited for freaking where Sirius Chain can go, without a doubt. Once again, shout out to Bishop Thomas. All love, but foundation won't be disrespected. There we go. Good times and good vibes, man. Good times and good vibes, as always. Do we have any Sirius Chain logos in the chat? Do we have any Blue Dragon logos in the chat? Dragon Chain, easiest to ever get 1,000 of this 300 million supply, right? And they have, and to try to get a dragon too, try to get one of those Dracaria NFTs, right? All right. But yeah, the cryptos that aren't focused on working towards quantum resistance, working to provide decentralized recovery, working to do micropayments or providing micropayments, good luck in this future. Good luck in this future. AI agents are going to be massive. Once again, TIBBIR will be the leader. Amico is looking like the leader in the digital twin space. ASI may have something to say about that with their AI agents, but also their collaboration with Twin Protocol. So right now, the digital twins are going to be probably one of those next hype cycles, right? And Amico is setting itself very, very well to be the leader in that. Twin Protocol is another one that is setting itself up to be a leader in that. So those are the two in terms of digital assets that are there. Luckily, there's only like a small amount focusing on particular digital twins, and it's Amico and it's Twin Protocol, right? So those two, we just scoop up some whole numbers, wait for this AI agent micropayment economy to start happening, right? The number one VC in tech just dropped a coin, past success, Coinbase, Robinhood, Stripe. Oh my gosh. If you're in crypto or fintech, dude, yeah. Are we talking about, yeah, I guess it looks like we're talking about freaking TIBBIR there. I want to see the frog. I think I thought you were going to like drop something else right there for a second, Base Patsy. I was like, oh snap, what's this new coin? What's this new coin? We need to get some TIBBIR logos for Base Patsy to be able to use. I think Base Patsy would happily become a green giant or a green frog, a green frog giant. we have to make like a green frog logo for the green giants to evolve into, man. Just for the TIBBIR love. Just for the TIBBIR love. Soulgraph. Okay. I'll check out Soulgraph. Is that another what's it called? Digital twin type of crypto? I'll check it out. Soulgraph. Does it solely focus on digital twins? Does it have any connections already to X402 and Crossmint? That's the beauty of what Amico is doing here, you guys. Amico has already set its foundation with Crossmint and X402. Amico could be the sovereign operator for all of these freaking AI agents. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see when digital twins, that act as you, right? They know what you like to buy. They know how you like to trade, what you like to do, right? And they'll act on your part to communicate with these AI agents. And the AI agents are going to be the ones making the payments, right? And TIBBIR is going to be one of those leaders, without a doubt. Oh yeah, there we go. We already have a green frog emoji. Why not? Why not? Just hopping around. Show love to the frog. Oh, without a doubt, man. I'm curious, dude. At this point, it's a 1 billion supply at 3 cents. You got TIBBIR at 2 cents, Base Patsy. You got TIBBIR at 2 cents, right? I remember you were saying that. If you got TIBBIR at 2 cents, I bet, you definitely had more bullish news than maybe Amico has, because, after seeing the stuff that you revealed to me from Altcoinist and all the deep dives stuff, it definitely makes sense that you probably went ham at 2 cents, right? I'm not saying going ham on Amico, right? Amico is definitely still potential, but that Crossmint connection and X402 connection is setting up something, and now they have their Amico relay. Amico is definitely setting up something here, and for $5 for me to get whole numbers of 1 billion supply, just like freaking TIBBIR's 1 billion supply, and us having whole numbers of this one, and it could be the next BTC, as Base Patsy or Altcoinist likes to call it, right? If Amico is even half the BTC, a quarter of the new BTC for digital twins, we are going to be sitting pretty, and our $5, our little swing, can have a big impact and possibly go a long way. Could possibly go a long way. So once again, I'm not over investing in Amico, but I'm just trying to set up how this, future kind of, AI agents are going to need digital twins. It's an absolute necessity, right? So, and it looks like Amico is definitely setting itself up to be one of those things. But once again, I don't want to talk too much about it. right? I only got like what? Just working and chipping away little by little. But I'm happy I have whole numbers of this because obviously I see the potential of what freaking AI to AI payments could do and AI agent payments could do and micro payments can do. Whole numbers of any of these assets are going to be so important. Dude, 2030 and beyond, TIBBIR is going to probably be like, what do we think TIBBIR is going to be, Base Patsy? $100? $100 plus in 2030 and beyond? Probably more, right? Especially if it's cranking out freaking AI to AI payments and that's just a majority of payments from there on out, right? So then what's Amico going to be? Dude, even if Amico hits $1, we make filthy gains. We make filthy gains off speculation alone, right? Yeah, $50 to $100 plus. There we go, Base Patsy. Let's freaking go, dude. Man, I need to get a TIBBIR shirt. Is there TIBBIR merchandise? I need to make some freaking TIBBIR merchandise. I need to get some TIBBIR merchandise, man. Need to get some TIBBIR. Dude, if TIBBIR hits in 2030, I'm going to have way too many tattoos. I'm going to have like a whole sleeve of tattoos of all the cryptos that took us to the promised land, right? Every crypto that starts to, like, that's going to be the coolest freaking sleeve of all time, man. It's going to be like a sleeve. You're going to have like the little frog there. You're going to have freaking XRPL, HBAR, the DREC Alliance on there, right? We'll talk about the Decentralized Recovery Alliance in just a second, you guys. We're going to have like freaking XPX there. It's going to be fantastic times, man. XX Network. Hell, maybe Amico, right? If Amico does some tremendous things. Guys, let's go into some deep reds. I'm focusing on the Decentralized Recovery Alliance for now because these are the ones that can provide decentralized recovery of assets. I found out the other day, XPX, very forward-looking, dude. They were talking about recovery of private keys or your assets 5 years ago, dude. XPX is on a whole freaking other level, man. On a whole other level. I even asked Grok, I said, on technical merits alone, is XPX a potential contender for X money, right? For distributing fiat through X money or for X money. And it said yes. It said yes. On the technical merits, XPX is a contender. It does set itself up to be a good contender for it, right? And it's a proven technology. So gotta love it, man. They created a wallet this year, guys. They've been in ghost mode. They won that CBDC tech sprint in 2022. I'm sure the central bank said, hey, don't release anything unless you absolutely have to, right? They released their Sirius MX wallet that is in beta now. MX is a new messaging standard that is ISO 20022 based, right? Sirius chain is bubbling up, right? Went from bottomed out, it looks like, at 0001 up to now 000. It went up to as high as 0008. Now it's retraced down to 0006, right? Something is brewing in that XPX arena. But anyways, other decentralized recovery assets. Remember, institutions and banks don't want to be, they're the ones who are setting up their downfall on these centralized rails to begin with, right? So when we go to the ISO 20022 rails, it's going to probably be on rails or, platforms that can provide decentralized recovery at mass scale in large numbers, right? So decentralized recovery is basically like almost a fresh thing, to some not, right? But that alliance was created in 2024 and nobody in the crypto space is really keeping up with it because they don't think it's freaking relevant. They just care about crypto go up, crypto make me money, right? Institutions and banks have different things on their mind. So the Decentralized Recovery Alliance is comprised of XRPL, Algorand, HBAR, ADA, Oasis Network, Casper, BSL, Hashpack, and DAG and Multiverse X, EGLD. Each one of these can provide decentralized recovery to their customers, to the institutions, to the banks, to big money, right? They can dude, you lose your private keys. They can recover your assets. Isn't this freaking nuts? Okay, so, to me, this is a massive innovation in the crypto space, dude. You can't do this with Bitcoin. You can't do this with Ethereum, right? So, massive opportunity here in the Decentralized Recovery Alliance. And a lot of these cryptos are under $1, right? A lot of these cryptos are under $1, and a lot of these cryptos, half of them are very low cap cryptos, right? So HBAR just got an ETF. HBAR is freaking legit. HBAR just opened up at the NASDAQ the other day or today, right? HBAR out already. These institutions think it's legitimate, right? They've been proving that they've thought it's legitimate. Look at their governing council. HBAR is not even close to 3 cents like Cody is. Cody went from a journey, COTI. Cody went from and we love Cody, don't get me wrong here, but Cody went from 2 cents up to 50 plus cents, back down 90 plus percent down to 3 cents. What an amazing opportunity for Cody and the deep reds. HBAR went from 2 cents forever to around the same price range, 50 or 45 cents, now down, and it looks like it's not going further down than 10 cents. It looks like it already went down to the 5-cent range, but now it's just like, you know, despite some of these dips, despite some of these scares, HBAR is now just hovering around that 20-cent range, 15-cent range, right? HBAR is looking bullish. HBAR is looking very exciting. HBAR is testing previous highs now as lows, right? Because we got to see HBAR go back down to the 4 cent range during this bear cycle. And what a beautiful opportunity that was, right? To get that. So HBAR still looking, you know, damn good at around these ranges. Algorand still look with their CERN connections. You don't see, a lot of people confuse inactivity on GitHub, like a public GitHub, as like, oh, this crypto's got nothing going for it. There are private repos that these enterprises can work on and develop through these projects on, right? So they don't have to let the public know any of the commits, because that's for the public to know. That's for, like, you know, everyday developers who are looking to build projects and they want to, you know, commit to the tech, right? They could do their things there. But there's enterprise private repos on GitHub that they can have their own little world on, right? And, you know, for a lot of these freaking projects, man, you know, just because it seems like they're freaking inactive, yet they're still building in other areas. They're still accumulating partnerships. They're not boasting their crypto and saying buy HBAR. They keep talking about, you know, they're not saying buy HBAR, at least. They're not saying that freaking word. Hedera's just saying, hey, we got this partner. Hey, we're an ETF now. Hey, we're this, right? I mean, it's fantastic, dude, how, you know, the mind games work, right? How they do these mind games with these, especially with some of these cryptos that are trying to provide enterprise solutions and enterprise adoption. Enterprises value security first and foremost, and they value their privacy. And remember, the big money always wants to have more money than you. They always want to leave you behind in these new tech innovations. They want you to look here while they're working over here, right? They're the ultimate magicians. They know how to just manipulate everybody. They know how to flip the world upside down when they need to, right? They know what you expect, and then they do something else, right? Amazon has the TIBBIR frog wall art. Oh, man, too good. Too good. It's all about the frog. It's all about TIBBIR. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go, Base Patsy. Ski Mask, are you into ski? I am not. It's awesome. What's up? What's up, Dragon? What's up, Coca-Cola? Yeah, I mean, easiest it ever is to get 1,000 DRGN and to get yourself a Dragon NFT on Dracaria, right? Easiest, dude, who knows what you could do with this 3D Dragon NFT in the future? Remember, this freaking project's backed by Disney. What if you're able to 3D print your freaking dragon with some nanotech and actually ride this dragon in the future? You know what I'm saying? Right? What if we freaking get real Game of Thrones shit going down in the future over here? Hell, man, I'm expecting Pokemon to come to life anytime soon. I mean, we're not too far away where you can, like, hold a little ball that maybe has, like, any Pokemon you want in it, and you just go, okay, Pikachu, I choose you. You throw it. It opens up a little ball, and a hologram of Pikachu comes out and fights your friend's little hologram Pokemon, right? It's not too far away. It's not too absurd to think about. Hell, you could probably already do that in VR. You put on these VR goggles or AR goggles, you could freaking just start, you know, freaking fighting your Pokemon, and then they'll just show it up on a big screen, or, you know, they'll do holograms or whatever, man. I mean, hologram, dude, if in terms of stocks, anything dealing with like hologram type of projection type of stuff, got to keep an eye out for. Got to keep an eye out for sure. Sir Velo is considered to be the Ripple of Asia. Any opinion on Velo? Ripple is the Ripple of Asia. I don't know if you've seen the volume that is going through Korea. Korea is 2xing, 2 to 3xing the volume of BTC. Korea knows something's up. The fact that even one country prefers XRP over Bitcoin just goes to show that the beginning of the end for Bitcoin as the top dog has already begun, right? Because if Bitcoin was so damn amazing, every country would just be foaming at the mouth to only get freaking BTC and Bitcoin. But the fact that even one country is now, the volume is 2 to 3x above Bitcoin's with XRP is already showing the beginning of the end for Bitcoin, right? And I'm not saying that Bitcoin goes away forever. I'm just saying the beginning of the end of it being the #1 crypto. Bitcoin is not going to be the #1 crypto forever. It could be XRP that replaces it at #1. It could be HBAR that replaces it at #1, XLM, ADA, whichever other one that does freaking micropayments and higher volume and fast payments very, very quickly, cheaply, and efficiently is going to be the one that is probably drawing those trillions of dollars of volume, right? Freaking TIBBIR. Why not? Why not TIBBIR, right? Why not Korea just start going for TIBBIR, right? But Velo, I don't like that Velo calls themselves the Ripple of Asia because, anytime another project takes the time to shout out Ripple and XRP, that just makes me even more bullish on Ripple and XRP. When Stronghold, Sean Bennett went to Korea with to probably do some business there, he came back talking about how XRP's volume is 2 to 3x of BTC. Right? So you got to love it when another project tries to shouts out Ripple or XRP. Now Velo saying that they're the Ripple of Asia. If you don't know, Ripple already has a massive presence in Asia. Ripple is the Ripple of the globe. It is the Ripple of the whole freaking world, right? So I would love Velo to say they're the Velo of Asia. That would be much better. That they're providing something that nobody else can freaking get, right? Velo, I believe it may be capped. It may be a locked supply. From what I understand, there is some inflation in the Velo protocol, right? And I do prefer USA cryptos over non-USA cryptos to begin with, right? Proxima X is basically one of my only exceptions, but they do have offices in the US. They are approved by the National Institute Standards of Technology of the US, right? So that's why we like XPX as well, right? But yeah, Velo, I just throw my dog star rewards and some of my passive income rewards to get whole numbers of Velo just in case I am wrong with it. But I just prefer other cryptos in that XLM ecosystem. I understand Jed McCaleb was an advisor. That's what keeps me kind of, rolling some passive income into getting whole numbers of Velo just in case. But I do prefer SHX as a Notcha preferred ISO 20022 partner, over Velo, right? Do like Velo, don't get me wrong, I do like it, but I try to be, I know a lot of people have like some, I just feel like there's some very unrealistic Velo love there outside of, hey, Jed McCaleb was an advisor, that's great, that's freaking fantastic, I want to scoop in on that, they have some interesting connections, I want to scoop in on that, but Velo, just say you're the Velo of Asia, right? Don't put Ripple into this. Don't drag Ripple into to try to get some views on your X for your platform, right? So, and I know Base Patsy totally thinks Velo is absolutely dead, right? For whatever that's worth. So that's why I just kind of throw my passive income rewards. I chip away little by little with all these cryptos, but especially with some of those ones that like a Velo where I'm just like, okay, I'm impressed, but I'm not like overly impressed as I am with some of these other digital assets. I'll scoop a little bit up, like Rio and Velo in that, in the XLM Lobster wallet. I just send some of my dog star rewards too, and get whole numbers just in case I'm wrong. And I'm totally willing to admit, like, this is going to be a speculative bull cycle, and in a speculative bull cycle, Velo does do things, right? When speculation happens, Velo happens to draw some speculation, right? We were there in the deep reds with Velo back in the day when it was 001, right? When Velo was a 001 coin, we were talking about Velo, right? So now that it's been running up to a penny plus and, now back down to sub a penny again, I don't mind chipping away a little bit if I have to have it. But I just, there's some certain things that I kind of just wish that they did a little bit better, right? Like, just stop calling yourselves the Ripple of Asia. Just call yourselves the Velo of Asia. You're setting up your own new standard. Your technology is that damn good, right? Where can we purchase XPX? We can purchase XPX through PancakeSwap or MXC. And why is it so hard to purchase this freaking crypto? Once again, Quant was like this when it was only on Bitmart. There was a day where Quant was $2 to $5 consistently on Bitmart, right? People had to jump through hoops. It was a new exchange that they didn't even freaking, trust, basically. They make these cryptos hard on purpose sometimes, right? Because they're trying to level, they're trying to limit the amount of, involvement, right? Or investing that's coming from retail, right? From the everyday people, right? SHX was the same thing. SHX was only available on Qcoin, right? And SHX is still not on on Coinbase. It's not on freaking Uphold yet, right? So they make you jump through hoops to accumulate some of these freaking cryptos, guys, right? They intentionally make it hard for you to get some of these powerhouse cryptos. Sometimes they do put it on Coinbase, but it just gets lost in the muck and you just never really think about it. Something like Cody, for example, COTI, right? Rose, right? You just get caught up in all the other cryptos and you forget some of the OGs that have freaking set a standard, right? Rose, the Blue Rose token that's part of the Decentralized Recovery Alliance can provide decentralized recovery, but also was an OG privacy-focused and AI-focused crypto, right? OG of that market and going in that direction, right? So I'm expecting Blue Rose to dude. I've been stacking up Blue Roses and making it stake for me in the Rose wallet because I just only want to cash out my staked rewards, right? I'm gonna keep some Rose forever. That is for sure. Can I get it on Phantom? You cannot get XPX on Phantom. Only through PancakeSwap can you get and MXC. You can get the original contract XPX through MXC. You can get the Binance smart contract address XPX through PancakeSwap. Either one is good, right? Either one is valid to have. Either one you can store on your Sirius MX wallet, right? And eventually in the future, once they're out of beta with the Sirius MX wallet, I'm sure you'll be able to convert your XPX Binance address into the native XPX address. But it's not bad to have some of this Binance address XPX because it's the one that's, if you're not able to use MXC like me, dude, I wish we could because we found so many great gems through MXC and Qcoin, and now and BitTrue, they freaking not allowed US users into it, right? So I've been getting, I have from the old days, I have my being able to get it through MXC. I have my original XPX, right? But now I've been building up a bag of Binance based XPX, and that one's going to be easily tradable. If XPX goes to high numbers and I want to freaking start cashing out some of it, right? I can just swap through PancakeSwap my Binance smart contract address XPX and put it into one of those stable coins right away, or put it into, whatever digital asset I want to take profit into, right? Hopefully that helped you out right there. Velo, a dead project. Guys, I got to start going in 2 minutes. It's been an awesome conversation here. Yeah, I got a few more minutes. So get your last questions in. It's been an awesome weekend stream. I know I didn't really shout out a ton of deep reds, but I just wanted to kind of make it about the community on these weekend streams and try to answer any questions that you guys have. I couldn't imagine buying $5 quant. Dude, it was there. It was there for the taking at $5, brother. It was there for the taking at $5, man. Quant has not seen a bear cycle. XDC has not seen a bear cycle. Those things don't know what bear cycles are. I bought everyone I know 1K Dragon at the bottom for them listening to my BS. That's awesome. Your whole family's gonna love you, brother. Can you yeah, man. I'm so excited for Dragon Chain. Dragon Chain you can get through Uniswap with swapping ETH, and they're making it extremely hard for you to get dragons, guys. They're making it very, very hard for you to get dragons. Very low supply, possibly the next QNT, honestly, dude. And it's going to be fantastic, those gains, man. 300 million supply and it's at a penny. Shame on them. Shame on them. I mean, freaking TIBBIR at 30 cents or 35 cents or what have you. 1 billion supply. Shame on them. They don't know what they're doing. The elite don't know what they're doing. The machines will definitely not win when it comes to the Blue Foundation, man. Can you kindly reach us how to buy TIBBIR on debt? Okay, so TIBBIR, Coinbase, you go to Coinbase, you get some USDC, you purchase USDC coin, you purchase the stable coin, and you swap it for TIBBIR. You swap it for TIBBIR, and then you can migrate your TIBBIR over to your base wallet securely where, you know, you have your private keys. You can keep your TIBBIR safe. You never want to keep your crypto on centralized exchanges unless you're trying to cash out during a bull cycle. But good luck, man. Good luck trying to cash out on a bull cycle. You're better off just swapping into a stable coin until some of the excitement is, lessening, right? Because these centralized exchanges suck. They absolutely suck. The decentralized exchanges are always the way to go. And trying to, if this is going to be your first bull cycle, just be very aware of this. For Coinbase to go down, for Uphold to go down, there's going to be too much volume for them to handle going through it. That, and they want to manipulate the market. Obviously, that's why they freaking, make it a centralized exchange. TIBBIR on Uni, there you go. Is it safe to have XPX stored on MetaMask? I don't know. I don't know looking good doing it. I really don't use MetaMask, my dude. So I send it over to either my OG Proxima X Sirius wallet or the new Sirius MX wallet, right? And I always send a very little amount first, like a $5 amount or a $2 amount to test the transaction and to make sure it freaking works. That is another lesson for all of these cryptos to understand, right? Is always being disciplined and focused and never getting too excited. And then you make a freaking mistake that can cost you millions, cost you thousands, cost you hundreds of freaking dollars, right? Always testing a small transaction. It never hurts. It never hurts to just test a little transaction to make sure that you can transfer between those two wallets, whatever freaking two wallets you're using, right? It's never, you'll be happy you did it. You'll even feel better to be to then make your next transaction and it's a little bit larger amount. But you have to always make sure you do a small payment, small transaction first. All right, guys, I only literally got 1 more minute. I'm going to try to scroll down and see if there's any other relevant questions. I got XPX on Trust Wallet. Congratulations. Rain, Meme, Asylum, and Dracaria kicking off first on Dragon Chain. Let's see what happens. Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys, appreciate everybody jumping in for another Deep Red Alliance episode. I am so grateful for you guys helping us get to 26 likes for the stream. If we can get to 50 likes for those who are watching later, I'd be so grateful. We're definitely starting to hit new levels. We got more grays jumping on in. We're keeping the momentum going, streaming daily here, talking about any crypto under the freaking sun, but hopefully the ones that are, have some relevance going into this micropayment economy, machine-to-machine economy that we're going to be going in. Right? Like, it's not only humans that will be purchasing cryptos, you guys. AI, a whole AI economy, digital twins of yourselves are freaking coming in to this, market, right? It is going to be massive. Trillions upon trillions of dollars are going to be flowing through this market, especially post-cyber event when the traditional rails get compromised, man. And we are here setting ourselves up for the bright future ahead. It's going to be beautiful, and I am so grateful. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader, and I'll never tell you what to do. I am always wrong. The Blue Crew, Blue Foundation is always right. We buy TIBBIR. We buy every freaking crypto under the sun. I shout out to you, Base Patsy, for always the TIBBIR, little TIBBIR shout out near the end. You're awesome, man. But yeah, always grateful, guys. Thank you, Blue Foundation. Thank you, Green Giants, and thank you, Deep Red Alliance. The future is distributed ledger technology, and the future is bright. Our future is bright. We got the golden eyes, and we keep it crypto. I'll see you guys in the Deep Reds, in the Blue Castle. Much love. Adios.